Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I'm Kayla Hamric, and I'm here with Bosstrack. And Bosstrack is a company that is truly dedicated to empowering women in the workplace. And we're well aware of the challenges that we face in the business world. And our goal is to really provide unwavering support, valuable resources, and a community that you feel comfortable in, and we are able to help you excel and overcome these barriers. Additionally, we are strongly believe in the pivotal role that wellness takes on nurturing successful leaders. So we encourage leaders to prioritize their physical, mental, and emotional well-being, as this not only builds resilience, but also helps boost their ability to adapt to change and while maintaining a balanced perspective. So I'm very excited because our guest here today, she is a double board certified physician, a TEDx speaker, an author, and a chief wellness officer to female entrepreneurs. Dr. Cindy Tsai, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here, Kayla.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and just get right into it. For you, how do you specialize in helping women in this day and age and helping them focus on wellness as well as gaining prospective opportunities in leadership?
Sure. So for me, I really think about wellness as the whole picture. So I think about mind, body, spirit, and
Mm-hmm.
knowing that we really need to take care of all parts of that in order to be well. And a lot of times, I think we think about our health maybe more along the lines of physical health, right? We think about exercise, our diet, and things like that.
Yeah.
But there are also so many other components, right? Mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and just really making sure that we are aware and looking into all these other aspects and together really providing a comprehensive experience to help these women really optimize and reinvent themselves so that they can really be well and at their best.
I really love that, especially not focusing exactly on the physical, because I know a lot of social media and a lot of the public eye recognizes wellness as in your physical self, and we really need to dig deeper in order to find the starting cause to your mental space and all of that. So what has kind of started you down this path of wellness?
Yeah, well, I always say that everything is connected. And sometimes we forget that, for example, the mind and the body are connected.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's my journey has been ever since I was young, I was actually always very health conscious. And so even as a kid, I would be drinking water instead
Mm-hmm.
of soda or fruit drinks. My dad was a surgeon, so I grew up with medicine around me, and I saw how fulfilling and rewarding it was for him to help patients and really improve their health, right, and save their lives. And so I was always focused on becoming a doctor and doing all the right things, checking off all the boxes, going to all the top schools for the best training at Johns
Yeah.
Hopkins, at Dartmouth, Ivy League, all the things. And but then along the way, I actually got sick.
Wow.
And so I totally burnt out. I talked about this in my TEDx talk where I woke up one day not being able to see,
Mm-hmm.
which was terrifying to
I
have
can
the whole room
imagine. Oh my God.
dark and blurry. And I think there was definitely a huge shift for me because um I was I was confused because I was always so health conscious and I couldn't believe it happened to me.
Yeah, you never realize it until it actually happens to you, and you're like, "Wait, what is happening? This is
Yeah.
real. It actually occurs."
Yeah, and I think it was just this moment where I had to really pause and to look at my health and well-being is not just about having a checklist
Yeah.
and doing these things, right? It's actually really being more grounded and embodied in that and present
Mhm.
and paying attention to what I was thinking, how I was feeling, and the messages I was receiving from my body. And so basically I was diagnosed initially, it took some time for the diagnosis, but basically I had this rare autoimmune condition impacting my eyes that
Oh,
could have led to full blindness.
wow.
And it's like a rare 1 in a million type of condition, right? People don't really know about it. And so I was on steroids, immunosuppressants, doing all the serious things so that it wouldn't get worse.
Yeah.
But I also was really motivated to get better. I was in my 20s. I didn't want to be on medications for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And so,
And you instantly want that like quick fix, like
yeah,
that you talk about. And now it's like, wait, I want that prolonged to help me throughout my entire life rather than immediate recovery. And then you might enter the same situation. But
yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's why in my TEDx talk, I talked about how the quick fix is not a fix in
mhm,
terms of our health and wellness. I think that definitely in acute situations, you do want to reach for that quick fix, right? You want to stabilize whatever, but looking more long term in terms of really having sustainable well-being, right,
exactly.
for the rest of your life, it's really important to look at the whole picture. And so for me, it was basically my own healing journey, bringing in integrated functional medicine, coaching, mindfulness, energy work, all the things, and thankfully healed my eyes.
I love that. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And so really bringing it all together, all my expertise, and to really help women on their journeys as well, to
Hmm.
know that you don't have to wait until you're sick or burnt out to take care of yourself.
Yeah, you can do it earlier and help
Yeah.
like keep those symptoms away. I love that. Oh my gosh. Oh, keep going on about the quick fix. So, what's the difference, would you say, between the quick fix and the keep like going through the process?
So I think about picture a plant
Mhm.
that's dying. So the
Okay.
leaves are usually like yellowing, right? And you can either spray water on the yellowing leaves of this plant, or you can nurture the dry soil,
Yeah.
right? And really get to the root.
It's a great
And
realization for all of us and all those who are watching. You can really grab onto that one.
yeah, and it's really the awareness to know that sure, we band-aids and things exist for a reason, right? It can
Hmm.
help, but if you really want to revive this plant, right, you want to get to the root cause and actually understand what was going on. And so for me at the time, I was in residency, I was working nights, and then during the day, instead of sleeping, I would still be raising my hand, volunteering, doing research, and being this overachiever.
Yeah.
Right? And then drinking caffeine to stay awake and to get through the day.
We've
And
all
then,
been there.
right? Like, I mean, I think a lot of women really resonate with this. And because we've been really told and conditioned that we have to be all things to all people,
Exactly.
and that we really rely on this external validation and our accomplishments to define who we are, which is so not true, right? We
Mhm.
have to really start from within.
We do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Love your whole story, how you got started. It's incredible. And especially someone with your background, like your dad was a surgeon, and now you're realizing that maybe like a quick fix is ideal in certain situations, but now moving forward, you need to get down to the root cause, kind of like that plant.
Yeah.
So, moving on to like in leadership roles, how can this apply in the workplace for women?
Yeah, so I think definitely in many different ways. I think the one thing I always like to say is that I always believe we're trying our best with what we can and
Mhm.
what we have at that point in time. So I always bring this lens of compassion to people and encourage people to practice that,
Yeah.
because I find that women, especially, we're so hard on ourselves. We see things, we're like, oh, I should do that too, or I need to do that.
We feel like we just always need to give, 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 do more, do it things
Mhm.
incredible. And sometimes we just need to take a second, step back, and realize what is good for us and our mental
Absolutely.
insides and whatever we need. Sometimes
Yes.
that's the bigger picture.
Yes. And so I always like to start with that about just please bring a lens of compassion to yourself first and foremost, and I think it really starts with awareness in terms of where you're at right now. Right. I think when I think about self-care and wellness for busy women, female leaders, it can be really challenging.
Yep.
You have a very, very tight, busy schedule, right? You barely have time to go to the bathroom and anything. And so I really always talk about the little things that you can do and to remember that every little bit counts.
That's a good point. Like even focus on those little things because that can make a big difference.
Yeah, it's really the little things that add up into something monumental. We think it has to be this like giant leap,
Mhm.
right? And we need to drastically change our lifestyle and all of that. But all what I've seen and really understood is that a lot of times when it's such a significant change, it can be really, really hard and met with so much resistance, right? Because we have
Yeah.
so many other things on our plates and it's just not realistic or practical. So I always talk about like what are the quick wins, the simple things you can do, and really reinforcing that,
Mhm.
right? So that you actually build and gain momentum to keep going.
What would be some examples that we could give our viewers on like a day-to-day little thing that they could add in to help themselves? Obviously, it's probably different for each person based on their day-to-day life, but something small that maybe they could add in.
Yeah. So one of my favorite ways to re-energize is through simple breathing techniques. And so breathing is super important in terms of breathing with intention. I mean, a lot of we go through our days breathing, right? But
Mhm.
a lot of times we don't even pay attention to our breaths. And
Exactly.
so a simple breathing technique is called the cleansing breath.
Okay.
And this is where you take an inhale through the nose and exhale through an open mouth sigh.
Wow, I feel better already. My goodness.
I mean, it's a few seconds, right? And it's
All stuff like that can even
so
help.
simple.
Oh,
So
wow.
really just even doing a few of those, and I offer so many more breathing techniques and all the things in my best-selling book. It's called So Much Better. It's right here.
Awesome. We'll get
Um,
that in a sec.
yes, but I just really always want women to know that there are ways to take care of yourself. We oftentimes think about self-care um, about how it's thinking about it as these pampering moments, going to the spa, going on a retreat, and all of that, which is great and important,
Mhm.
right? But I also think about self care as the things you do in the moment and really the mind, body, spirit practices that really help you stay grounded and connected to who you are and really just really taking care of yourself in the way that you need in that moment.
Exactly. Those small practices can really boost your energy throughout the day and even throughout the week. You might not realize, but those small things by the end of the week, you might be ready to go out and see some friends or sit on the couch with your friend as well and just do something that makes your heart happy.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get into your book. So much better. I'm so excited to talk about it. Can
Yes.
you give us a little insight on it?
Yes. So this is my book. It's called So Much Better, and it's a best-selling self-help book based in mindfulness. And it really offers life-changing strategies to help you develop calm, confidence, and curiosity to become your own inspiring success story.
Love it. I I'm about to go order it.
Yeah, yeah, it's available on Amazon, Barnes&
Perfect.
and Nobles, all the places. And I wrote the book because I kept seeing the same things come up over and over again when I
Mhm.
worked with clients. And a lot of times, I think we all need these tools and practices and strategies, right, to really help us not get stuck, not feel overwhelmed and stressed out all the time. And that's why I titled the book So Much Better, because I wanted women to know that things can be so much better. You can feel so much better, right? It's just, we just need a framework and tools and strategies, and things can change.
Exactly. I hear so many people walking around nowadays. It's like, what can I do? What should I do? I don't like the life I'm living in right now. But realistically, it's up to you to change it. And you can go through and find these little things to change. And maybe reading your book for some of these people will really help, or even diving into your website that you offer. What is your website called again?
So I have my website's cindyscimd.com. And then also I'm excited to launch a signature group coaching program called the Wellness Formula that's starting in September. And so you can find out more details at yesandmorenow.com/well, WELL. And this is really helping busy female entrepreneurs have a strategic framework to reset and thrive. Because I find that so many women, we're so busy, we don't even have a simple way to understanding how to be well, how to take care of ourselves, and really coming at it from a mind, body, spirit approach, looking at the whole person too, so that they can be well and be at their best.
Exactly. And out of all those amazing schools you went to and coming out and realizing it is all mind and body, like you can introduce both practices and combine them and find a great happy medium. And I think hearing you talk about it and reading all of your information, it is such an amazing opportunity. And I really believe that everyone should take interest into it. And us here at Bosstrack are so happy to have you here and provide our viewers with this information as well. So
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Do you have any last minute pointers for anyone for their day to day or anything else?
I would say the one message I always like to share is to be kind to yourself. And I think we forget how far we've come, and to honor and acknowledge and celebrate ourselves, especially as high achievers, as leaders. I find that a lot of times when things go well, we think it's what's supposed to happen, right? And we're already moving on to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. And then we always focus on how things aren't done yet, or how we should have done better, and XYZ. And so I really, really want to impart this to all the viewers, to really remember to be kind to yourself and to celebrate, and to know that you're trying your best, and to really have fun along the way.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today. And thank you everyone for joining in on us. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.